All right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Tell me you can fucking hear me. Fuck me. Finally. Finally, finally, finally. Finally, finally, finally. Okay. Victory. All right, man. Call back, call back, call back, call back. All right. We will do it. This is why I'm doing this now, because I'm doing a super impromptu, like low production thing here because I want to test this out. And then I want to get this working really well and then have a system down and then do this at, scale at a high level in the future where, it's a high production and, nice camera and microphone and the whole thing. So I probably will get, we can only get better from here. Let's just say that. Let's just. Okay, is he calling? Are you calling, my man? Maybe he's coming back on. Hello? Hello?
Alec, what's up, bro?
Hey, man, who's this?
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan. Hang on, man. Sorry, we're getting another call. Oh, I thought this was the other guy. It's Jonathan. Okay, hey, Jonathan.
If you want, I'll call you back after you finish talking to him.
No, it's fine. We're already on the line. Let's do it. What's up, man? Where are you from, Jonathan?
Okay. Chicago.
Awesome. Haven't been, but it's one of the cities in the U.S. I want to visit the most.
Nice. It's nice over here, bro. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I got some questions for you, man. You answered my question not too long ago about I'm thinking about going pro and all that.
Cool. Good for you, man.
It's just what worries me is, how could I say, the ups and downs of the game. I'm trying to be more consistent. Learn to be more consistent. I need some advice on consistency.
Yeah, I mean, I get this question a lot on DMs on Instagram and whatever, but like, to be honest, like, poker is not a consistent game. Like, it's really not. And the reason is that, like, if you're playing live poker, like, you don't play that many hours. You don't play that many hands. Even if you play a lot of hours, you only play 25 hands per hour. And if you do the math, if you look at the numbers, you could play, thousands of hands and still run bad. And so if you look at a graph of how long it takes, Jonathan, to play thousands of hands, it takes, tens, 50, hundreds of hours. And that takes weeks, days, weeks, and months of time. And so if you're looking for, look, you don't take on an esoteric profession or become an entrepreneur because you want stability. Like, you're doing it because you want freedom. And if you're not willing to sacrifice the freedom, the stability for the freedom, then it's not the right game for you. And so it doesn't mean that you can't lower your variance. It doesn't mean you can't do some things that, like some hacks of like adjusting your playing style, or, using your bankroll more strategically and all those things. You can do those things, but you're going to put makeup on something. But the essence of it is still there. And so you're always going to have that in poker. And if you don't like that now, if that's too much of a drawback before you go pro, then when you go pro, that's only going to be magnified and it's going to be even worse for you. So I would really caution you to think deeply about whether or not, this lifestyle is something that you actually want more than you want if you want the upside more than you don't want the downside. And that's the question you have to ask yourself that I can't answer for you.
Okay.
Make sense?
Well, that pretty much said
cool.
It's just, you know, I just don't want to be that person who doesn't get upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be mad if I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm losing, I don't want to be nonchalant and be like, man, I don't care. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And give up. You know what I mean? I just want to be more, I want to be able to be more like, you know, use that as motivation.
Totally.
Use my loss as motivation without, you know, without getting too upset over the variance and being able to give up. I don't know. There's just, you know, there's a lot. But I'll take your advice, and I want to say thanks.
A lot of it is also the story you're telling yourself too. So what are you telling yourself when you're losing? What are the thoughts going on in your head? What is the self-talk? You know, the way that you, like, most things in life, in my opinion, aren't really good or bad. Like, they're sort of like neutral. I don't know if you've heard the parable of the Chinese farmer. You should look it up. But it's basically this idea that, like, you know, events that happen in your life aren't really good or bad. It's how you interpret them that gives them meaning. Like, so you can be walking down this, you could bump into someone on the street, and you guys can have a similar interest, and you could think, wow, the universe is, you know, helping me meet this person. I should pursue this relationship because we're going to end up being a partner or working together. Or you could look at that interaction and say, nothing. It was coincidental and there's no big deal. But, like, the interaction itself isn't neither good nor bad. It's the meaning that you give to that interaction that determines your state of mind about that situation. And so when you're losing, of course, it's one of the things you can say that's probably like a negative thing, insofar that you can judge things as positive and negative. But the way that you experience losing doesn't have to be, it could be motivational, it could be inspiring, it can make you want to get better, it can make you want to improve, or it could bring you down. That depends on, like, how you know, are mentally responding to it. So that's a little bit about the mindset side of things. And I think having something that's, like, you know, positive that you're telling yourself when you're down, that self-talk that you have is very important. And it's important that self-talk is something that is like premeditated. You know, it's constructed ahead of time, and it's not just left to your emotions in the moment, because your emotions are going to be bringing you down inevitably. But your emotions are just feelings. They're just thoughts. They're not necessarily how you necessarily have to act. And those thoughts come and go. But you can, you know, control those thoughts, and you can focus on the ones that are positive and bringing you to a positive space. I would also say that meditating has helped me a lot. So I would say you might benefit from trying that too. I think it makes you, you know, helps you stay present. So I would give that a try.
All right, man. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
You got it, man. I'm just telling the next guy to call in. I appreciate your time. Hit me up if you need anything. You know, I'm on social media, so you can find me.
All right, bro. I got you. I'm definitely gonna hit you up again for some advice.
You got it, man. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it, man. See ya.
No problem.
All right, guys, this is awesome. Thank you for joining the show. All right, we got another caller. Let's do it. I hope this is, I think, Evan. Did I get this right? Is it Evan?
I think Evan. Did I get this right? Is it Evan?
Hello? Hey, man.
Yes, this is Evan.
You got to pause the video because I'm hearing an echo. Pause me. Don't watch me, you know?
Okay.
All right, cool, man. So what's up? Evan is from LA. He was the guy that called in originally when we had no audio. Anyway, he's back. Thank you for your patience, Evan. I thought it was you calling the last time, and whatever. So what's up, man?
No worries.
What can I help with?
So I got a quick question on
Sure.
Poker Advocate.
Yeah.
I go to a bunch of home games in and around LA, West Hollywood.
Yeah, awesome area.
And
love it there.
Yeah, oh yeah. And there's nights where I can be up $600 in less than an hour.
Yep.
is it impolite for me to just leave after I, get up big? Because sometimes I get the evil eye from some of the regulars.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say in a home game environment, like, look, there's nothing like you're not. It's within the rules of the game, right? So insofar that the rules are there to make everything fair, you're not doing anything unfair. Let's just be clear. Like, you're not doing anything wrong. Like, people say like, oh, hit and running, that's wrong. It's like not there's no like that's completely within the rules of the game, right? It's not like a tournament where you have to play to the end. Like, it's within the strategy of the game to quit when you're winning. Like, people way over put too much emphasis on people that do that in a negative way. And I think there's like nothing wrong with it. If someone wants to sit in the game and they win a buy-in and bounce, if that's their strategy, like, power to them. They're risking their own money. They are completely within their right to determine when and if and how much they risk, especially if you don't know the situation they're in. Maybe they got a phone call. Maybe they're taking a shot. Maybe they just got stuck, a ton of money in the previous games and they want to, just win one buy-in to feel better about themselves. Like, that's totally within your right. Now, we're talking about a situation where there's something that goes beyond the rules of the game, and it's your ability to get invited back to this home game, right? It's your there's almost like a friendly sort of nature to home games. There's sometimes even like an unwritten rule or expectation that if they like, look, there's an organizer of the home game. They have to lock up seats for different people. They have to like coordinate those seats so the game doesn't break. They have incentive to keep the game going. And when they invite someone to a home game, they're expecting that people stay to keep the game going, and like that everybody is kind of on the same page that like you're going to play for a fixed amount of time, at least 4 hours usually. And like the reality is you would never leave if you're like losing, unless you lost a lot. But if you're losing 40 big blinds, you're not going to leave that game. So I think in that situation, if I had to leave early, I would make an announcement when I got there to be respectful, or I would actually, in fact, tell the organizer of the game when he invited me, hey, I can only play 2 hours. Is that okay for you? Find someone else to come, 2 hours after I get there, because I don't want you to be without a player, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if, you're hitting and running, like, I think that could easily like make the people in the game kind of upset, A, the players that you play with, and B, the organizers, because it's clear that like that's what you're doing. And while at a casino, like nobody, you don't really have anyone to like, it's kind of like every man for himself. It's kind of like war at a casino, right? There's not like one entity that like is kind of all there with the same interest. Whereas in a home game, it's kind of like that. Like, everybody is kind of there together, like watching the football game, and you're all playing against each other, but you're all kind of like, it's a different environment. And I think that that's not a great long-term strategy in a home game to be doing. Now, every home game is different. Like, people might not care. You might get away with it once or twice, but I definitely wouldn't make it a strategy. I think insofar that getting invited back is as important as booking a win, because you can't book wins unless you're invited back. I think I would not want to do that. I remember the games I played in Macau, and this was an extreme situation, granted, but like, we were locked in for like 24 hours. Like, we couldn't, like, you could leave anytime. Like, it's a casino. Like, you could technically leave the game and you will get paid. You'll just never get another seat. So I never left and quit when I was up. Like, I would quit when the VIP said it was okay to quit, or he wanted to quit, because like I was like the house, and I was providing a service to this VIP and the game in general. And so I would always make sure that I was there. Granted, that's a little bit different of a situation, but I think the principle applies that you're going to want to, be kind of just respectful of that.
Sure. Okay, I understand. Thank you.
No worries, man. I hope that helps. Careful of the rake. Rake will kill you in those games. So just play tight.
Sounds good.
Good luck to you, man.
Have a good one.
You too. Cheers, buddy. See you, Evan. All right, guys. Awesome. I am taking more callers if you guys want. First come, first serve. At this number, thanks for calling in. You know, I'm releasing a. Actually, I just released it, but releasing a video on YouTube about this as well. It's kind of like a travel vlog about my trip to Asia and where I am now in Hong Kong and Macau, and as well as my New Year's resolutions. I'll give you guys first peek. You can read the resolutions here, but one of my resolutions was to host a live talk show and turn it into a podcast. And so I'm kind of taking action on that now and starting that process of doing a live call-in show. And I'm like, wait a minute, why do I need to wait for some event to happen for me to start doing something that I could do now? Granted, I'm in my hotel room in Macau. It's not beautiful. I don't have my microphone. I don't have my camera. I don't have a production crew. It's just me. But I can start just testing this out and getting a feel for how I want these shows to go, and then make this into something that's a weekly show at X time. I'm going to be doing a talk show and everyone could call in and it's a weekly thing and whatever. But anyway, this was one of my New Year's resolutions to do. And so it's exciting to take action on that early on. So I just wanted to share. Doug, if you're from Hong Kong, hit me up. I might be back there, in a couple days. Hit me up on social and maybe we'll meet up. Cool. Let me look at some comments. People have comments about the home game. Cool. If someone wants to call in, let me know. I'm happy to answer some questions. That's definitely what I want the focus of these shows to be going forward. In the future, I'll try and be a little bit more higher production value, where I have callers lined up and I promote it a little bit more so that there's more people here, so it's easier to get callers, and there's a theme where today we're going to be talking about tournament strategy, or I could get theme topics from you guys. If you want, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, wherever, and let me know questions and themes you'd like for these shows, and I'll consider that going forward to make these a little bit more focused and a little bit more dynamic. But I think in general, that's kind of the direction I'm trying to go here with these, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Wayne is calling in a second. Awesome. No worries, Evan. I don't know when I'll be back in LAOC. I have family there, so I grew up there, so I always have a reason to go back. But I'm not sure. I'm very one way with my plans, and I kind of just focus on doing what I'm doing where I am, and then I go when I go. So I will keep you posted. If you see me there, obviously hit me up. Okay, cool. We got Wayne calling in. Wayne, what's up, man? Wayne?
No, this is Joe.
Okay, this is Joe. Great. Wayne, hold on, Wayne. Joe, what's up, man?
So I got a question. Long-time pro since 2001 days.
Awesome. Where are you from, Joe?
And I have a problem. Sorry, what's that?
Where are you from?
Colorado.
Sweet. I love Colorado. Awesome.
Pretty much online pro.
Cool.
But I have this problem, and I've had it all my whole career, is jumping to the next level. Scared of that jump.
Okay. What stakes do you play, and what stakes do you want to jump to?
Feel like I got to be the best player at the stake I'm playing.
Yeah, I understand. So what are you trying to move from 1-2 to 2-4 or something like that?
Yeah, just that jump and stake, whatever stake it might be at that time.
Right.
I was a long-time tournament pro, and I just switched to cash 2 years ago.
Yeah, good for you. I think it's probably more stable.
Yeah. Well, and I'm older. I'm not a younger pro. But it's always that jump, right now I'm playing 2-4 heads up. And the jump to 5-10 heads up terrifies me.
Why don't you go to 3-6?
It's online, so, you usually don't have, the jumps are usually rather big once you hit 2-4.
Yep. So Okay, that's fair. So some of it might be like a bankroll issue, right? And I don't know where you're at with that, or where the people listening are at with that, where it's like, if there's like if there's real pressure on you to win because of the financials, that is always something that's going to be difficult to overcome, no matter how good you are, right? You could be the best player in the game, but if you're working with, a 7K roll and you jump up to 510, you're going to feel that no matter how great you are, just because of the math and of the game, right? So that's something that you can fix. That's fixable, and that's fixable by, winning more money at your current stake, saving more money, spending less money, allocating more money to your poker bankroll, growing your poker bankroll, and taking shots with a small percentage of your bankroll at the bigger stake. That's like a pretty simple fix that you can do. But you might be plenty rolled and still feel that pressure. And that's something that you have to just come to grips with mentally, because ultimately you're never the best player in your game when you start. So you weren't the best player at your 2-4 game. There's no way. There's no way you moved up from 1-2 to 2-4 and you were suddenly the best player at 2-4. That's just not possible. Like, you can become that best player, but the only way to become the best, and you don't even need to become the best, you just need to become better than the competition. But the only, better than some of the competition, right? Or the competition that you play. Right. You could game select, and you could do those things at the beginning to give you an edge. But like, you have to look at it like, you're paying for lessons. Like, what better? I mean, obviously you could pay for lessons and actually pay a coach for lessons, but like, no matter how much you study, you'll inevitably have to test your capacity in the actual games. So I would look at this like paying for lessons, because you're never going to reach that next level otherwise. And like, you might not even be a losing player, but any variance you incur should just be looked at like training. And that's ultimately what I think you need to do. Also, I would consider maybe selling some action, and then that way you're still effectively playing the same stakes, but getting all the experience of playing the higher stakes. And that could take some of the pressure off as well, just mentally, of like, you're still playing 2-4 when you're moving up to 5-10. And that could help you as well. But I would definitely just change that perspective on it and look at it like, I'm going to practice this for 3 months and see what happens, because I'm never, what got me here isn't going to get me there. And ultimately, to be the best player in the 5-10 game is going to take time. Like, you have to, be like, just approach it that way, that it's like, it's going to take time to progress through the ranks, but this is part of the process. Part of the process is, being at the top and then starting at the bottom and then moving up to the top. And each time, the graph goes slowly, the graph goes up overall, but there's ups and downs in between. And that's part of the struggle. Without the struggle, then it wouldn't be fun. You wouldn't even like poker if you were just fucking suddenly the best at 5-10. You'd be bored.
So yeah, that's the thing though, is once you get into that stake and let's say you lose a buy-in or something, and then that adrenaline kicks in, and then you're like ready to battle at that stake. It's like the performance anxiety to actually like start the session and get in, because in heads up, 95% of the regulars are bum hunters.
Totally.
And then the other 5% I fit into, where I'll battle anybody and I want to be able to battle anybody. And I think that's why I have a problem jumping to that stake or the higher stakes. It's that performance anxiety. Once you overcome it, say you get stacked or something, taking a shot, and then you're like, all right, yeah, I can battle all day. But it's not like you're chasing the losses. It's once you get into it, it's overcoming that anxiety. And maybe everybody has that same anxiety when going to the casino or sitting down at a heads-up table or a regular table, for that matters.
Yeah, I think there's also some ego there in trying to be like, prove yourself that you're the best. It's also just being humble and realizing like, that's just part of the process. You might actually have the raw talent to be the best at 5-10. You probably do.
Right.
But like there's an experience level that you need to excel. Like, even think about, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just imagining the process of like, a great basketball player going from high school to college, inevitably the best, right? Let's say he becomes the best, like Steph Curry or something. Like, he probably didn't start as the best when he went from high school to college. Like, even if he was the best in high school, he didn't just go to becoming the best in college. It took him a year. He had to become a sophomore, a junior, or a senior. and eventually became the best.
Right.
And then they had the same problem in the NBA, where you start off as a rookie and nobody gives a shit about you, and then suddenly you become an all-star. But like, you don't, like, the rookies aren't the best, even if they become the best. So, but you're lucky because in poker, that time window is condensed so much because there's, you get exponential experience playing online. And so, like, it might only take you like 2 or 3 months, but that's nothing in the face of your career. You've been playing for 15, 17 years. So, like, you're letting this 3-month obstacle hold you back from your 17-year career. It's nothing in the face of your entire span. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, for sure. But overcoming that performance anxiety is something I've not been able to overcome for all the years.
Yeah, but you're not.
Eventually you slide up, but you still, when you start that session, you still have the performance anxiety to where if you were at one stake lower, you feel no anxiety.
Yeah, but that's normal. You're not going to overcome that. You're going to, that's just an experience that, the human experience that's part of poker. It's like saying, how do I overcome the fear of, like, I still have fear before I get on stage to do a keynote. Like, I gave a keynote like a couple months ago. I was super prepared. Like, I nailed the keynote. I think I did a really good job, but I was still scared before I got on stage. And if you're asking me, like, Alec, I ask someone, I say, hey, how do you not get scared before going on stage? You might talk to someone that's been speaking for 60 years, still has butterflies in his stomach before he goes on stage, because that's just a human emotion. Like, you're playing high stakes poker, you're going to feel adrenaline. You're gambling for lots of money. Like, this is just part of the game. But, like, the only way to get up earlier is to get up earlier. Like, there's no secret to doing the work or to having the experience or overcoming it. You just got to do it. And, like, all this talk and, like, preparation, you're past that point. You're definitely ready. You're the best player at 2-4. You might fail to be the best player at 5-10, but you're not going to know this by pontificating. You have to just try and give it, set aside a specific amount of money. Okay. Set aside 10K, right? 10K. You're going to set aside 10K. I'm going to say, I'm going to mess around with 10K at 5-10. Maybe you sell half your action. So now you have a 20K bankroll for 5-10, which is a lot. And you just say, I'm going to try. And, like, you sell half your action, so you're playing, 2-5 effectively, which is basically the same thing as you're playing. And, like, you're just like, okay, mentally I set this money aside. If I lose it, it's not going to kill me, whatever that number is. Maybe it takes you 2 or 3 months to set that money aside. I don't know your financials. But that's what you could completely control. I wouldn't take this shot unless I had my financials super in place. I had a business plan in place for playing that higher stakes. And, like, the only way to do it is just dive in. Like, obviously, don't go play the best player because you have an ego and you want to prove you're the best. Like, find the biggest fish you can and try and fucking win. Like, it's poker. Like, try and win. Like, quit if the guy's good. Like, don't have an ego. Like, quit. But
so I'm trying to overcome something that is a natural emotion that I should be just accepting, which probably hasn't been.
Yes. Yeah, you're trying to, like, not experience fear before jumping out of an airplane. So, like, just embrace it. Like, you're gonna experience that emotion. Like, that's part of the ride. Like, I experienced a lot of fear and, like, pressure, like doing a keynote in front of hundreds of people, but then I also experienced all the euphoria of them, clapping and saying that, I motivated them and I made an impact in them. So, like, you don't get one without the other, right? You don't get the feeling of, I'm the best poker player in the game and I crushed the big game in Macau without losing sometimes or getting crushed first, or you don't get one without the other.
Right.
So I would just embrace it and, like, have a plan so that you don't feel like you're just ad hoc, like, just jumping in, not having any idea what you're doing. Like, do it smart. Like, you're a smart guy. You've obviously got this far in poker. Like, be smart, but then, do it.
Just take the leap.
Yeah, dude, jump. It's like you're like, what you're doing? You're sitting there. There's a fucking pool, and you're sitting there, like, dipping your toe in, waiting for the water to get warm. And, like, the water doesn't get warm. You just jump in and you get used to the water.
Yeah, I've been waiting 15 years for the water to get warm. And
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to change. So, like,
yeah,
you know, it's
I
going
guess that's why I'm calling, because I haven't figured it out over 15 years. Every time I sit down at that higher stake, I still feel like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, but I think it's your perspective that's off. Like, you're trying to not experience something that is inevitable to experience. So I would just enjoy the experience in some way. Like,
yeah,
I actually, like, it's kind of like working out, right? Like, a lot of people don't work out because they don't want to be uncomfortable, and they're waiting for working out to become fun. Like, working out, if you're doing working out right, it's not really fun. Like, there's moments of fun when you're doing interval training and you just finish a sprint and you're walking and you're like, okay, you feel that empowerment that you just, finish that sprint. But, like, it's not fun to sprint and push your body to its limit and feel pain. Like, it's like, that's just not part of it. But it's fun afterwards. And you're gonna feel like the long-term positive is better than the short-term pain. That's with everything in life. Like, everything, like relationships, they're hard. Eating healthy is hard, but you feel great. Going to bed early and getting up early is hard, but you're more productive. Exercise, it sucks, but you feel excellent. And so, like, that's just basic, it's just part of life. And I think we got philosophical here, but I think I think you just got to kind of like embrace this experience.
Right. Just take the leap. And I mean, eventually I do, but like I said, 2 years of cash only, so it's all still, new.
You know what I think you should do too?
Taking those leaps, I guess.
Yeah. I would write down the worst thing that could happen if you execute on your plan and it goes absolutely abysmal. So, like, write out your worst case scenario and read it out loud and see if that sounds like something that is too daunting to execute on. Maybe you'll find that you realize that it's not worth the risk. But I think more than likely you'll find that there's really not that much risk at all, and this worst case scenario isn't as bad as it is in your mind. That the realistic worst case scenario isn't that bad.
Yeah, I guess the worst case scenario is you continue to make 20 BPs per 100 at your current stake,
Yeah. So,
That's
get in
really
touch
the
with
worst
what
case
that is,
scenario.
and then go from there.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Okay,
Good stuff. I
thanks.
hope you crush it. Keep me posted.
All right, sounds good. See ya.
You got it, man. Later, buddy. Awesome.
Bye.
Cool stuff. This is fun. I like connecting with you guys, man. I should do this stuff more. The only problem here is that I have to, like, my eyes get, like, strained when I'm staring at myself on a screen. Like, I wish there was a way. I mean, there's a way. My goal for this is eventually to have a situation. I'm just completely speculating out loud here. Where, by the way, Wayne, I think it was Wayne, call in whenever you want. It would be great to have a situation where, like, I could do this in person and, like, like Saturdays from noon to 2 p.m. and, like, people came in every half hour and, like, sat with me in a room and we could talk and I could take questions and answer them. And that would be amazing. That'd be amazing. It'd be so much better because then I won't have to stare at the screen, but you guys can still watch. We can have, like, 2 cameras and mics, and, like, I think too big. That's down the line. All right. Okay, I'm sorry I haven't looked at the chat at all because I've been talking, so I'm probably gonna sorry. Feel free to call in, anyone. I am going to give you the number. Okay. Cool. What else do we got coming out? New content on the YouTube is coming. New content is coming. I'm excited about the new content. mixing it up between poker and lifestyle content. So doing a little bit of travel vlogs mixed in with some poker coaching and training. And I've been coaching a lot of poker out here in Hong Kong and Macau. And I'm actually recording some of the details of those sessions and then it will be to record an entire day session that I do with a client and like somehow bring that content to you and like maybe make it a course, and it might be paid content because it's it's quite intimate, or maybe just clips or sound bites of it I could produce in vlogs as well and show you like a little bit of behind the scenes and the lifestyle of like traveling to different places and coaching and playing, and then bring you some of the strategy that I'm sharing with these people. So I tried to do that in a vlog, but it's tough because I have to focus on coaching. It's like 8 hours of day sessions. They're very intense. And then I'm trying to like film at the same time. And then sometimes we're in like the Mandarin, or I'm at the Mandarin now, at the Mandarin like lobby. So it's like, there's other people and it's hard to kind of like film. And so it's a little bit ad hoc, and it's just like an idea and idea. I would probably need like a third party to like really make this beautiful. But I think it's some good content that's coming. And I'm excited for that too. So feel free to call in with some questions. There is a number right there listed. Thanks for being here with me. Appreciate your guys' time. This is fun. I'd like to do more of these in the future. I will try to do a few things to make these better, where I like plan super ahead of time. And get a bunch of people to the show and have like specific people lined up for questions where they're going to call in a certain order. And you guys know ahead of time what time the show is. You guys can join. All the good stuff. But for now, I'm really enjoying doing this. Like I said, this was a New Year's resolution for me to actually have a show. So this is fun stuff. Cool. I might take one more caller, and then I think we can call it a day. It's been like 30, 40, 45 minutes. I might just do like, I'm just kind of feeling it out, but I feel like 3 callers, 30 minutes is like the right move for these types of shows. I'd like to hear your guys' opinion too. But I feel like that's just, I'm kind of gauging this out right now, but I feel like that's just kind of like right. So that it's always engaging. You keep each call kind of concise, 1 or 2 questions, like little mini Ask Alex. I think that would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, here we go. What's up? Hello?
Hey, Alec.
Hey, who's this?
This is Zach from Fort Worth.
Awesome. I went to SMU. What's up, Zach?
Good. I'm doing good. So I'm more of a tournament player, and I'm trying to advance my game to get cash. But I don't play No Limit Hold'em really well. I do better in Pot Limit Omaha.
Play Pot Limit Omaha.
And yeah, I do really well at that and high-low. And that's more of my game. And I've kind of been picking that up in the last 2 years. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of players that really want to play when I get on the table. And it's kind of scare out.
Wait, so people don't want to play with you, or there's just not an economy for the games?
Well, I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and a lot of people just really don't understand the game.
Sounds like a great game.
Kind of, when I do pre-flop raises, I bet the pot. Majority of the time they just get out of the hand, and then when it gets to post-flop, they're getting out of the hand also after they do call pre-flop.
This doesn't sound like a problem. This sounds like a great thing because it sounds like you have a big edge in these games where people play bad. What can I help with? Are you debating whether to play PLO or Omaha, or PLO or Hold'em? Sorry.
Well, I'm more focusing on Pot Limit Omaha right now because No Limit is not really my game, and I do well in No Limit. It's just when I sit down on a 1-2 or 2-5, and at Winstar or Choctaw, I do okay.
and I'm either breaking even or up a little bit. But when I'm playing pot limit, I do really well but it just seems like I'm not getting a lot of action, and I'm not sure if if I'm betting way too much at the on pre-flops, because in my head I want to build up the pot as much as possible, but it just seems like I'm scaring off a lot of people pre-flop.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it sounds like your strategy is a winning strategy because people aren't adjusting well. And they're like, if people are folding too often, that's an opportunity for you to exploit them. And I would keep doing what you're doing, especially when you combine the fact that it sounds to me like from what you're saying that people are also folding too often post flop. You should keep doing what you're doing. And like, it might be a boring format of poker, but insofar that you're doing like the 4-move checkmate in chess. Like, it's not that fun to play the game, but you're still winning the game. And so if your goal is to win the game, like, keep doing what you're doing.
It just seems like every time when I do get action and I get deep into it where I'm good to turn a river, and I know I'm not going to get into it, but I'm still, double barrel and triple barrel into it, and they're still calling down, and it's not the action I really want to get, but it just seems like that's when I lose my hand, and I'm starting to slow down, but it just seems like a lot of people are just folding, pre-flop or post-flop, and I'm just not getting the action I want when I have the winning hand. I didn't know if I'm just betting way too much, because this is a way different game from no limit, and you got to build that pot up there if you just don't win enough, and that's what aggravates me the most about this game. But I do win a lot, and when I walk off the table on a cash game on a pot limit Omaha, I'm up, when I'm like I say a 2-5 table, I'm up, when I sit down $500, I'm up $800. It's just, it's a way different game, and I'm trying to figure out how to, advance my game to where I can make 1,600.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're doing everything right, and so, like, maybe your expectations about the wins are too much, but I think you're doing everything right, and I think you're in good shape. So I would keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
All right, man. Good luck to you. Stay in touch.
Appreciate it.
So you got it. Cheers. That was a bit confusing to me. I think he's doing good. I think he's doing good. I would just kind of keep going straight. Guys winning, keep winning. All right, Wayne, you're up, man. Cool. Yeah, Joseph, I could sympathize with that. I mean, there is a learning curve to this whole thing, and I'm learning with you guys, so I understand. Wayne, go ahead, buddy. Cool. I'll hang around as long as I get callers, so I'm fine. It's like 2:30 in Macau. Let me just tweet this out here that I'm doing this. Okay. Your name's Luke? Wayne's name is Luke. Okay. All right. Go for it, Luke. Wayne. Luke. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Bum bum bum. We got another caller, guys. Hang tight. 1 second. Luke, what are you doing? Luke. Hey, Luke, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? I just tried to call you. I don't know what happened there.
It's all good. Just mute me because I hear myself in the echo. Like, don't mute the stream.
Okay, mute the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, one second.
Or just pause the stream because you're gonna
Sweet.
you're gonna hear yourself.
Okay, I'm just... Okay, we're good.
Cool. What's up, man? So where are you from, Luke?
Sweet, man. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Cool. Haven't been, but heard good things.
Yeah, definitely. I was living in South Florida for like 4 years playing poker down there.
Awesome. I was just there. I was in Miami before New York in end of November, beginning of December.
Sweet. Were you playing at the Hard Rock then? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I played some cash games and a few tournaments there too.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
I was up actually in Palm Beach, so that was mainly where I was playing.
Oh yeah, I've played there. I've spent some time in Palm Beach as well. It's a cool area.
Yeah. No, the games there were, amazing. I've never played any softer games in my life. And it was actually even really hard adjusting, moving to other places.
Yeah.
And I moved back to Minnesota, and we only have 2 poker rooms up here. And pretty much like everyone who plays cards up here, or like everyone's like really into cards. Like if they play Hold'em, like they study the game, like, and they're good players.
Cool. Okay.
I kind of stepped away from playing seriously for a living. I just came back up, just kind of went back to like recreational or whatever. I wouldn't never say I was super crazy, maybe more like an amateur, just playing like 5-10 and 2-5 down in South Florida. But
yeah, still good.
I've been reconsidering moving somewhere to play again, and I'm contemplating between South Florida or Vegas. And I was just curious, out of your perspective, which do you think would be a better like geographically, what do you think would be a better location to like play making money?
You're debating South Florida and Vegas?
Yeah, between South Florida and Vegas.
Yeah, so I got this question. I remember someone I know called me about this very question, maybe like a while ago. And he was debating moving to where was it? Somewhere in Europe, like in Brussels or in Malta.
Okay.
And in Malta there was much better poker, right? There's like a huge poker scene. There's a community of poker players. There's casinos. There's like, it's just like a hub for poker players. And Brussels,
right.
There was like very little poker. Like, I don't even know if there was a casino, but like you could play online, but like he didn't have like a circle, or, he couldn't build his career there. But he loved Brussels. Right. He loved Brussels because there was the lifestyle, there was the aperitivo, there was the chocolate, and the whole thing. And he was trying to like, on paper, it felt like he should move to Malta because like there was all this like career and business things there. But he was going to be happier in Brussels. Like it was clear. And so I think you're asking the wrong question, because I think you're trying to figure out like, and your career is important, and money is important, and you need money to like live your life so that you can have the freedom you want, which will give you the happiness you want. But like, because poker's a whole lifestyle, but insofar that you're going to play similar stakes in both places, and like your hourly might be, plus or minus, what are we talking about? 10 or 20%. Like, the question you need to ask yourself is having 20% more money moving to location A.
Do you like the lifestyle? Whatever you like the lifestyle better, yeah.
Is the 20% more money going to make you 20% happier? And I think that you'd be frankly crazy to choose the money. Like, I would rather make, let's say, like, just throw out numbers. I'd rather make $50K living in the place I want than $70K living in the place I don't want. Because at the end of the day, you're paying for, your life. And that's just hard to quantify. Granted, if I can make $250K versus $50K, I would suck it up for 2 or 3 years, bank the money, and then go back to the place that I can make $50K with my $500,000. So I don't mean you have to be smart, but we're not talking about those numbers here. It's not like you're going to make 15 times what you're going to make in the other city. You're going to make 20% more. So you have to focus on like, where is your happiness going to be the highest? And then from that place, you're going to play better poker. You're going to be more motivated. You're going to be more inspired. You're going to build a social circle. You're going to settle down. So like, where do you want to move?
Right. And I guess that's the whole thing is I've never been to Vegas and I don't know, like, I mean, obviously I know a little bit about it. Yeah.
Go to Vegas.
Like I said, I got up to 510 in South Florida and I was doing pretty good. Had built up a decent roll from $200.
That's amazing.
You know, and I just, I mean, it was crazy. Like I built up a pretty decent, like I built up like a 30K roll from
That's amazing.
$100 playing 1-2 in South Florida. I just don't know if that would be possible in Vegas because the people in South Florida were so bad. Like it was like 2002.
Yeah. But
quality. Like it was like ridiculous.
You can always get better at poker, but you can't like a place more. So I would say you should go to Vegas for 2 weeks.
Right. Take a shot. Yeah.
Forget taking a shot. Just play the normal game that you play. Like play 2-5. Don't go crazy and expose yourself when you're unsure of the economy there. Go play 2-5. Dabble around 3 or 4 casinos. Live the life that you would live as a pro. So don't go stay at the Mandarin. Like, go rent an apartment that you would consider living in when you're there and live the life of a pro in Vegas for 2-3 weeks or a month. And after, and then go to LA and then go to South Florida. And in a month, you're going to know. The answer will be obvious, but sitting there in Minnesota, you know, pontificating about Vegas is never going to give you the answer.
Right. And I haven't even really been like, because I didn't even really consider myself a pro. I was just making money at the games I was playing.
Right.
I considered myself more of like an amateur who was like making a profit. I wasn't really like, going around like, I'm a pro poker. You know what I mean? Like,
that's just a label. Don't worry about that.
I just didn't look at it like that.
I wouldn't worry about that. That's just a label.
But no, and I had one comment as far as the guy in the last podcast who said he when he was talking about like against, like he was like worried if he was like the best player in his game or whatever. And I just wanted to say the way I always looked at it as like, I kind of look at it as like it's a competition against myself in a sense. You know what I mean? Like you're never like at any point like necessarily like better or the best. Like that can change throughout any session. You know what I mean? Like for myself, like I'm always constantly, it's like a competition against myself, you know, to see how consistent I can stay, like how disciplined, how much I can follow through with plans and et cetera, you know what I mean? So
I like that. I hope
he's out there.
That's a great perspective and feedback. I hope he's listening. I actually made a video. Let me see if I can find it. Something on like I play poker or something, and it was about something similar where it's like competing with myself is like the only way to like get better, you know, and like the only way to measure your success is competing against yourself. I totally agree. Let me see if I can find it. I'll drop it in here. Hopefully he's listening. I think it's
dude. Your videos helped me a lot though when I was in South Florida because I kind of approached the game similarly. Like I studied GTO.
Yeah.
But I have like an exploitative, like I've always been a feel-based player, but I haven't discounted like the whole GTO movement.
Totally.
I started playing like 2005 when I was in high school, and it was more of like a feel-based kind of, you know, math was involved in the game, but it was more feel-based, and GTO wasn't really thrown around so loosely.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've adopted it as the years have gone on because there is some merit into learning it.
Totally, I agree. I use both. I use both
but
in every hand I play, you know? I agree with you.
Right. So appreciate your videos, Alec, and yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Luke, man. Good luck to you, buddy. Hope you crush it. Keep me posted. See you, man.
All right.
Cool. Guys, I'll take another call here if I get one in the next minute or two. Yeah, so a question about solvers, like pile solver and stuff. I would start with Poker Cruncher. So if you're looking to get into the math of poker and the game theory, start with an equity calculator. Like Poker Cruncher is a great one. But Pile is a great next step, and it's good and advanced, and there are spots where it really comes up. You really have to be disciplined to put in the time, and you have to be a math analytical type person to benefit from it, because it takes a lot of formula. I'm reading a comment. It takes a lot of analytics and discipline to really benefit from that. It takes hours of study. So cool stuff. I'll take another caller. If someone wants to join in, ask questions, I'm happy to answer them here. Again, thanks for being here, everybody. This is really awesome. I'm really grateful to be able to connect with you guys and just have an audience that values my opinion. That's really cool. I love sharing things that I've learned on my journey, and yeah, it's a lot of fun for me. So thank you guys for this. Again, it was if you guys have been here a while, you'll know it's a New Year's resolution of mine to do this, and so I'm committed to making this more of a style of content that I produce, and I'm going to up the ante when it comes to production value and just streamlining this process to make it better. I'd love to do that. So awesome, Luke. Thanks for that, man. Appreciate it. That's awesome. Thanks, Adam, for the kind words too. And Catherine, what's up? Thanks for joining. Nice meeting you. Cool. So good stuff, guys. That's awesome. I'll take one more call, and then I'm going to call it a day. It's been an hour. Look at that. We've been together an hour. Holy shit, time flies. This means I'm doing something I love, because time went really, really quick. And I can only imagine how fun this would be if I actually was like doing this in person with someone. Like, can you imagine? It'd be so sick. I would need like a team to help me organize that, because like it'd be so much, like a full-time thing. I would need a partner, but speaking out loud, but that could be some next level stuff in the next year or so. So sick. He's so sick, especially when I'm in LA or something. Could like easily have people come in and like we can film something live. So just like some live Q&A. What I'd really like to do is do this with like a client of mine, where we talk about like some of the strategy that we talk about too during our coaching sessions. That would be sick too, because they have a lot of questions that are like, I know relate to so many of you guys. I'm doing coaching. I did a coaching session yesterday, the day before in Hong Kong. Yesterday and the day before in Hong Kong, and got one tomorrow here in Macau. So I'm quite busy here coaching some poker, but it would be sick to document that content too. I think that you guys would really like that. Adam, we'll do it next time, man. Don't worry. All right, guys. I think we got all the callers. We got like 5 callers in this show, which is pretty good. Enjoyed it a lot. So. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have anything else to share, any updates. I think that's it. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff, but I'm kind of like, forgot, because I'm just talking, my mind's everywhere with this content we shared today. So, yeah, this is awesome stuff, guys. Thank you everyone for your time. I will try and make this a regular thing, and it might just be sporadic in the beginning, where like I pop on for an hour whenever I have time, just to kind of connect with you guys and talk. And it might be something that I actually make more formal, where I keep you guys posted. The one thing you guys can do to stay tuned when these events will happen is subscribe to alectorelli.com, consciouspoker.com, and I will be sending out emails to my list whenever I do an event like this. And you guys will get first notice when I'm doing something like this. So I'll send out an email saying, hey guys, next week at this time, bookmark your calendar. I'm going to do a live Q&A, and you guys could call in or whatever. And hopefully we'll have some other callers lined up with specific questions that are kind of like screened, so that we know the topic, we know the focus. Dave, maybe a co-host or two. That's a great idea. If I'm in the same place as someone, or I can do something virtually, where we can do like me and someone else, and then we could take callers, the both of us, and then we could both answer. That'd be amazing. I would love to do this in person. Like, my dream is to our world is so digital now, so it's like so easy to just sit in your home and like do everything from your computer. But like, what I really like, why I want to do these things is because I love people. I love being around people. I love connecting to people. I love talking to people. And so I'd love to like be in the same place as someone, because there's just nothing that like replicates that. So that's a long-term goal. It'd be hard to set up, but I could do it digitally in the beginning. But a co-host in the same city would be like amazing. Like, if I could get with like Ryan Feldman or something, like on Live with the Bike would be amazing. Do a meetup where I do meetups usually when I'm in different cities. So if you see me, Mart, in your city, hit me up on social media, and I'm happy to meet up with you guys. Yeah, I have time for a tournament question. Call in here if you want. We can take one more. Let me check one thing on. I have to go somewhere, but yeah, call in now. I'm just gonna check one thing, but don't mind me. Okay. Yeah, I definitely have a few minutes. Definitely. Sorry. Ricardo asks how I study. I use a poker equity calculator. And that's like the main thing I use. I think that's like the most efficient way to study poker. I also talk with a lot of other, great poker players that help, refine my game at all times. Ben, yes, I do coaching. I'm actually out here for coaching. I'm coaching in Hong Kong, coaching in Macau. So if you are interested, hit me up on social media and we could talk. I could give you some pointers, see if we're a good fit. All right, one question about tournaments. When playing toward the money with not a big stack, can you not get blinded out but not be too aggressive to spew your chips before bagging? Yeah, it's hard to answer like technical question like that, because there's like so much that goes into it. It's sort of like asking, how do you play the mid game in chess? Like, do you develop your knights or your bishops? It's like, I'm like overwhelmed. I don't really know where to start. Basically, the shorter your stack is, the more that you want to focus on caching, because the EV of your stack is contingent on you caching. And so, if you're a big stack, you can afford to gamble a little bit more because your chips have diminishing marginal returns. You could gamble with your excess chips because they're worth less. But when you're really short, you don't really have many options. I think your strategy, the shorter you are, the tighter you're going to be, closer to the money, and the deeper you are, the more aggressive you're going to be. And that's like the general way I would think about it, without getting too much into like crazy details that I think is just a little beyond the scope of this chat. Joseph, explain how coaching works. Sure, I have different options. I do like WhatsApp coaching, where like people can send me hands on WhatsApp and I respond via voice message. I do Skype coaching, where we do video conference calls like this and I get deep into their personal situation, and then I follow up with them via email where I review their entire session, and then I do WhatsApp coaching as well as part of the Skype package. And then I have in-person coaching, where I'll meet up with someone in a city for 6 to 8 hours. We'll spend the whole day together and really go over like their poker business plan. Like, for example, the last guy, Luke, that I talked to, like we would outline exactly what it's going to take to move to Vegas, or exactly what it's going to take to move to Florida, how much money he needs set aside, what variances he's going to experience, what what game should he play? What stakes should he play? What does his bankroll need to be? What's going to be cash games versus tournaments? What's his business plan going to look like? We would focus on being better as a poker player and mindset and tilt control, bankroll management, and we would focus on like a routine that you have to get you in the best shape to play poker and play your A game. And then we would focus the other half of the day on being better at playing poker. So, cash game strategy, hand reading, range analysis, game theory, when to use exploitative play, live reads, and those sorts of things. Then I would review an entire session that you or anyone that wants to work with me plays. So you write down all your hands during a session, you bring them to me, and I review them. And then I would actually go over them one by one, and we would analyze all the fundamentals behind the hands that you play. So, for example, if I notice that consistently throughout your game your bet sizing strategy is off, we would have set aside, we would segment half hour and do a lesson on bet sizing strategy that you could apply holistically to your game, so that you're taking you're extrapolating the concepts out of the hands to apply to your game as a whole. So those are the three options for coaching. And that's how it works. If you're interested, obviously hit me up on social media, or send me an email through consciouspoker.com. And you could learn more at this link if you want. consciouspoker.com/coach. Okay, I think I'm going to call it a day. This is awesome, guys. Thanks for your time. What's up, Matt? If you want to call in, you can call in here, but hold on. Someone's asking a question. Oh, man, Matt, you missed the last conversation. Whatever city you like more. Man, we just had a conversation, Matt, about someone that was in this exact same spot, looking to move to one city or another based on what games he wanted to play. And my advice was basically just, move to whatever city you love more. Don't move to the city with better games, because your lifestyle is more important. Ciao Blue Wave, come stai? Sì, certo, ti sento. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, push fold apps. We have a blog on push fold charts that will help you. That's a complete guide to push fold charts. They're beautiful, custom made by myself. And how to play perfect tournament poker. And you could watch this blog post. You guys got to check out the Conscious Poker blog, man. We have so much good content there. Push fold charts. There you go. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, Matt, it's tough. I mean, if that's one of the things I mentioned in my coaching that I do. It's one of those things that's like, I want to answer the question, but it's like, to give you the right answer for your needs is like something that I would need to like deeply understand your situation to feel confident that together we're doing the right thing. I'd have to understand, I'd have to understand your goals. What is your big picture? What's your 30,000 foot view look like? Why do you play poker? What do you want to accomplish in the next 5 years? Like all those things would be like, a dialogue that I would need to have about you or anyone else to really be able to say like, I think you'd be a better fit in this city, or like this makes more sense based on your lifestyle. This is how much money you want to make. This is how much your cost of living is. This is how much you have saved, your bankroll. Like all these things are kind of like put together to really get that picture of what it looks like. So I'm sorry I can't be like, just I wish I had the 8 ball that you just shake and then it tells you the answer and it was right. I wish I could do that for you, but I wouldn't feel confident being able to like tell you that advice without really having all that information. Oh, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it, man. I've seen your screen name around before too. So Thanks for the kind words, guys. I appreciate all your support too. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Blue Wave, dove sei? I got a fellow Italian here, so that's awesome. All right, guys. I gotta go to the restroom too. Gotta pee. Okay, so I'm trying to think if I wish I could give you a time for when I was going to do another one, but I really can't because this is my first one. So I'm gonna just kind of like randomly do these in the future. Let me see where you are. You're in Google. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Got a fellow Italian here. That's cool. Not every day you get the Italians. I spend part of my year there as well, so that's why I was kind of curious. Yeah, you're far away from me. You're in the south. I'm in the north. Anyway, guys. All right. Much love to everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Keep me posted on social media if you have questions or topics you'd like addressed in future videos or themes or ways I can improve this. I would greatly appreciate that. Let me know. That would be awesome. I'll leave you guys a minute here to type them in. If you guys have thoughts of like how we can make this show better and things we could do, this is a super ad hoc experimental episode. So I like didn't have any callers planned. I have no, tech wasn't working in the beginning. We have terrible lighting. I'm in my hotel room at the Manor. It's a disaster. So there's all those problems. But like, if there's anything else you guys have advice for, then definitely let me know. That would be great. That would be great. That would be great. All right, guys. Take it easy, everybody. Much love. Cheers.